Hey guys, I'm about to yawn because I'm just about to go to bed. So I'm going to yawn in a minute. Um, just something really important I wanted to check in with you guys. When you do first get diagnosed with this, I honestly thought it was all going to be over in in 2 weeks. Because if you haven't suffered from constant dizziness 24/7, if you've never actually experienced that, the people that had that for years and years and years, like I had it for years, okay, you'll get it right now, and you'll know, and you'll laugh. You'll actually laugh about the thought that it's only going to last a week or two. But when you're first struck with this, you honestly believe you're dizzy for a day, and it's unexpected, and you feel almost like, okay, I feel quite dizzy, but it will go in a day or two, because you're not used to feeling dizzy. You're not used to feeling so off your face, spinny, and you can't focus or concentrate on anything at all. So because it's not normal, you just assume, if you've gone through like 30 years of your life and you never had those symptoms before, it's just going to go. It's like having a virus and you feel a bit dizzy. That was the biggest mistake I made, if I'm honest, because it gets you really depressed. Because if you generally do have vestibular migraines for the first time ever and you're super, super dizzy, it's the kind of thing that will take months and months and months to really settle down and heal, okay? Now, when it comes to vestibular migraines as well, when it comes to things like vestibular therapy, I did not find it helped me at all in the first few weeks because I was off my face, okay? Now, the amount of people that say to me, I won't do vestibular therapy because it didn't work, I was the same. I'm like, I'm not going to do that again. I felt off my face. I felt worse. I had to sleep for days after doing vestibular therapy. Now, the thing is, when I went back to it 6, 7 months later, the dizziness level with time does generally subside. I felt just it heals by itself through time, and this is me not on medications or anything, okay? So when my dizziness actually started to heal and I started to get gradually better, slowly and slowly and slowly, when I got to the 6, 7 month mark, it was enough for me that I could manage it. But in the first month or so, with this constant dizziness, not even able to wash your hair, to eat, to you just sleep all the time, and you can't even lay down, because when you lay down and close your eyes, everything's spinning. And I had the classic where the bed would drop and I feel like I'm laying in bed and you go like have you ever had those dreams where all of a sudden your body just bolts upright and you jump in your dream? You have that kind of jump. That's how I felt with this. It's like in the early days I lay down my bed and all of a sudden I felt like I'm falling, my body felt like it was falling through the bed, and I jump upright. And it was horrendous because you open your eyes and you're dizzy. And when you close your eyes, it can actually feel worse. So I wasn't sleeping either. So there's no way vestibular therapy is going to help me when I'm right at the peak of it, okay? Now, just to let you know as guidance, this is not for everybody, but the majority of people I spoke to that had this for a long time, they went through a horrendous 2 years like I did, because you fight against it, you go out, you try and stay active, you do whatever you can. Time, I have felt, is the biggest healer with this, even with other people I've spoken to. A lot of people I've spoken to, it was literally like the 2 year mark, something changed in them, and then it started to get better. This is not for everyone, guys. So if you're watching this and you think, oh my God, I'm going to have this for 2 years, whatever. I know people that went to back to work after 6 months. It depends on the person, okay? But me personally, it was so severe. It took 2 years. It easily took 2 years before I gradually started to get better. So I just want to say to you, don't write off vestibular therapy straight away in the early days. Go back to it maybe 6, 7 months' time, because I did that 7 months later and it got me to where I am today. And now I'm roller skating, doing triple spins and crazy stuff 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Another thing is, when you look at these people that do things like climbing mountains, one of our members recently, by the way, climbed Mount Snowdon in like 6, 7 hours. It was insane. Me roller skating, things like that. Now, people are like, how the hell do you roller skate when you're so dizzy? Because I remember in the early days, I was looking at somebody else that was traveling the world, and somebody even sold their house and got a boat and traveled halfway around the world on a boat with this. Okay. And I'm like, that's not even possible. I can't even, I'm so exhausted. I physically cannot even lift my arm. What you need to know is the people that are doing this tend to have dealt with this for a lot, like months and months and months on end, sometimes maybe years on end, to get to that level. Now, guys, when you see me doing these things, that's because I'm like 7 years in, okay? A year in, I couldn't do any of it. 2 years in, I couldn't do any of it, okay? It gradually got better over time. So it's not like I just woke up and I'm normal. And a lot of people that see my videos or see what I'm posting will think like, wow, she's roller skating or she's doing this or she tried to go surfing. What you can understand is it took years to get there. For me personally, my personal journey, it took years to get there. The point is I did get there, okay? So I did get there finally, but it wasn't something that happened overnight. And I wish I'd known, because I remember like the first month of having this illness, I remember seeing somebody mention vestibular migraines. I was looking at Facebook chats and stuff and groups, and I never forget, they said 6 months in and I'm still dizzy as hell. And I will never forget looking at that. And my whole heart dropped. And I thought, no, that's not me. It's just, it's going to go. It's not, I'm not going to be like them. That's just them. I'm strong. I'm going to be fine. Bullshit. Sorry. 2 years dizzy every day. So I'm just saying, in the early days, I really wish I'd accepted it more. Like Chloe always says, and I'm a vestibular migraine group, it's a marathon, not a sprint. A marathon, not a sprint. So go easy with yourself. Don't push yourself too hard. It's almost like I did. To get better, I had to stay active, but I also rested as well, guys. So I go for a couple of laps around the garden. I'm laughing because I do a lap around the garden. Now my garden was the size of a double bedroom, okay, but that was still a mission in itself. I do a couple of laps, go back and sleep for hours. I remember being so dizzy I couldn't read, and the worst thing for me was I couldn't even watch TV because I was so dizzy. And I couldn't lay down because I was dizzy, and I couldn't sleep because I was dizzy. It was horrendous. So just remember, when you see these people doing these incredible things, it's usually because they had to put a lot of work in, guys. They had vestibular therapy, or it's been months into it leading up to it. So I believe you can truly get better with this. I really believe you can get better in this. But like I said, like Chloe said, shall I say, it is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? You got to be gentle with yourself. But at the same time, you cannot just stay in the house and hide. Because, as I always say, it's almost like your vestibular system is broken and it's like a toddler learning to walk all over again, okay? So a toddler that needs to learn to walk, we take things like that for granted because we all walk. But when you're crawling and you have to learn to walk, it takes months to learn to walk. It takes years and years to be stable enough to start running and feel solid and confident. It's exactly the same for us, guys, when we have a vestibular condition. It's going to take time. It's going to take months. It might take a year or two, okay? But don't lose hope, because there's so many people I know that are back to work. I mean, that are living full lives, that are traveling, that are sailing, that are climbing mountains, that are skiing. But you need to know, it took time. Time is honestly the biggest healer. That's what I truly believe with this condition. Time is the biggest healer. But no, it's possible. No, it's possible. And what you also need to know is, you never really hear from the people. Oh God, my hair's doing my head in. You never really hear from the people coming back in on our sites and stuff saying, hey, I'm fine, I'm living my normal life. Because why would you? Why would you want to come back constantly and go in a group where everybody's sick, depressed, ill, that feel like they're never going to get better? Fair enough, people drop in to give people hope and inspiration, but the majority of people, it was such an incredibly difficult time. Most people lost family members, that their marriages have fallen apart, they've lost houses, they've lost careers. Why would you want to go in every day regularly and talk to people in that group, and just be like, why? Because it's almost like PTSD. It is actually proven, chronic illnesses is almost like PTSD. It triggers you. I honestly find I'm quite triggered when I go in some of the groups again, and I see all the symptoms and things. It honestly triggers me, and then I start thinking about it. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking, oh, I shouldn't do this today, I shouldn't do that. And it's almost like overthinking it makes it worse, okay? This is how I feel after years of this, okay? So please understand, the people usually come in. I remember when I had this, right, and somebody used to come in and they'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm in New York now and I'm going back to full time work. I'm like, what the hell? How is this person going back to full time work in New York, of all places? And she'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. Just keep active and just get on with it. You'll be fine. You'll get through it. And then she'd leave. And I'm like, where are you? Where the, where the hell are you? You've disappeared. But now I'm at that level that she was, years later, might add. I get it because it's so horrendous, the things you've gone through. It literally is like PTSD. It's okay to drop in and tell people, and give them hope, but you don't want to be in there regularly, you know? And that's why I have so much admiration for people in the vestibular migraine group, like Chloe and Debs and Gemma, because they're always helping people and supporting them and trying to help them. But it keeps you at that level as well at the same time. So please know, it's not because people never get better. It's because they get better and they want to forget it. It's like, how many people have had traumatic incidences in their life that's been so traumatic? Do you want to go back there? Do you want to go back and talk about it all the time? No. You want to move on and you want to heal from it. So please, guys, have hope. Have hope. I know so many people that are back to work. I know people that were back to work, like I said, after 6 months, working full time, traveling, okay? And I was 2 years in. It's different for everybody. I need to go to bed. I'm tired. I love you lots, guys. Okay, bye.